Extended school year, or we call it ESY, is services that are provided beyond that 180 typical school year. The services for the students really just depend on their IEP teams and what they decide. Since those decisions for extended school year are made at those IEP teams, that's really where the services, the days, what therapies they may be getting is all decided. What the teachers will do is they'll gather data throughout the year, and then when we come up to periods with breaks, Christmas break, maybe Thanksgiving, spring break, they'll look at how the students perform before and then how they perform after. And really what the state requires us to look at is any students that have significant regression, or maybe they're emerging on a critical life skill, or maybe their disability is so severe that they really will not benefit from school, the 180-day school year, without the services of extended school year.
What color is that? Brown, okay. And so now what do we do though with our friend Robert? Robert can't see. So can he tell that this is brown and this is silver?
I personally firsthand, as a previous teacher here at Hillcrest School, so I worked with the same type of population, and I worked almost every summer as well. And what I was finding is that some of my students, those few weeks of break, they really would take a long time to recoup those skills, especially kids with physical impairments where we're getting them up into different adaptive equipment, or students that are working on like language or communication skills. Without those, the continued instruction, I found personally as a teacher that they were showing regression.
I've been working with Hillcrest for 12 years, and I've been doing ESY for 12 years. And throughout my experience, I can definitely tell a difference from students who have had the opportunity to come to ESY and those who have not had the opportunity. I think this is a great concept to keep them focused on some of the items that they tend to forget throughout the school year. I really think it's beneficial, not just academically, but also socially. A lot of our students here, they tend to need routine and structure, and I think that ESY is a great benefit for that, to keep the kids on track and hopefully assist them in adjusting and acclimating them much easier when we come back in the school.
Harry Potter had Hogwarts to learn his magic. However, the students of Marion County don't have such a wizarding world to study at. But the Ocala Civic Theater offers a magical experience for youngsters 8 and up.
We've been here for a week every summer, and we do a morning session, an afternoon session, and there's a lot of kids out there who are intrigued by magic, and so I put a magic kit together and we go through everything, and each year, about every 3 years, I can rotate back in stuff from before, and they truly enjoy it.
Mr. Solomon, Greg, is so great, and he himself is such a great performer. It's not just that he knows magic, he has the entire presentation. I mean, when he gets going, you fall under his spell. You're like a little kid again, and it's like, what's he gonna do next?
Now, man number one was feeling quite glum, but clever idea had he. The plan that had got him was to come through the bottom, but he landed in tub number 3.
Participants in this week-long camp get their very own magic kit, as well as the experience and insight to enable them to become, well, perhaps, the next David Copperfield.
And usually most of the camps, not all, but most of the camps end with what we call a share case, which is where we invite the parents in for the last half an hour, maybe hour of the class to watch a little mini show.
Summer break is anything but a vacation for the facilities department, as it's the only time major projects can be done.
During summer, there's usually far less people on the campus, very little students except those sites having summer school, and little to no staff, which is critical in a project that involves a systems replacement or something that's overhead or considered dangerous. Obviously, at certain projects, you can't do work with people there for the safety factor and just because of the fact that it's so noisy or so disruptive that it's almost impossible to work there. So summer is most critical when it comes to some of the infrastructure upgrades, especially, or anything that we consider dangerous. Fezziden's an 87-year-old facility, and in years past the roofs were replaced, but they used an economic way of installing the electric. It's okay to bury electric in a roof, but certainly not when you're running hot asphalt. And the issue we faced at Fezziden is, at least in 2 locations, once we tear off the roof, we cannot put hot asphalt back down on top of roof that contains conduits and electricity. because of the fear of melting any insulation and creating an electrical problem down the road. So that whole school is getting re-roofed, but in addition, 2 buildings are having new power run to feed all the light systems inside the attic space above the ceiling. So we're having to take it off the roof first before we can complete those buildings, and that's almost guaranteed that you'll have to do that during the summer for the sheer fact that we have to get into the classrooms to do a lot of the electrical work. We pretty much take all summer to do all the projects we have. You know, we literally try to squeeze sometimes 3 and 4 months of work down into 2 months, and that means working 6 days a week on the job site. Sometimes we have double shifts where we have a daytime crew and a nighttime crew. But as far as cutting it close, I'd say probably easily 25% or more of the projects we do every summer we are finishing on Friday and sweeping up the building on Sunday before kids come back on Monday morning. So we're appreciative for every minute we have in the summer, and we push it every year to get it all done so that the kids come back and not have to worry about anything.
Volunteers are some of the greatest assets we have in Marion County Public Schools. They give so generously of their valuable time to help our schools complete their mission of not only educating but also nurturing our students. We thank them for their dedication to our community and their efforts in helping our young people. In their own heartfelt words, they share with us what it means to be a volunteer.
I love it. I love working with the kids, and I get back more than I give. I do whatever the teachers need me to do. I help with small group and reading, and I have worked with math facts and things like that in the math rooms. Sometimes some of the kids just want a kind word and a smile, and that they may not get at home, and we're able to do that here.
Well, I volunteer simply because, and I say simply because, it's not really all that simple. The reality is that when I had to go on permanent disability, I realized that I had a lot of time on my hands, and I knew that through some of the things I could still do, I could still make a difference. I could still impact the kids who don't have a lot of positive role models a lot of times in their lives. For me, that's really what it's all about. It keeps me going when I see the need around me, and I know how much I've been blessed and my family has been blessed. And these kids, a lot of them, they don't have that. I want to show them, quite honestly, the love that I've been shown. And I think that any way I can do that, and this is one small way, that I can make a long-lasting, hopefully permanent impression on these kids, that people do care about them, people do love them, and that it's necessary to help others. And that's really what motivates me.
I volunteer because I like helping my community, and I like knowing that there's ways that I can do that. And more specifically, I like volunteering here at my elementary school because it's where I grew up, and I like seeing how it's progressed, and I like being a part of that. Knowing that I can inspire them and have an impact on their life, and just motivating someone to do better, really. Just seeing the progress that they've made at the end, like, that's just a reward in itself, like knowing that you help that person progress and you help them get better in their schoolwork, or you help them not get as much trouble as they did before.
To pay it forward. You have to. My son had some slight issues and they went over and beyond, and now he's in high school, he makes A's and B's, he's ROTC, he wants to be a neurosurgeon in the Air Force, and I think it starts here. So that's why I'm here. I'm paying it forward, and I love kids, especially those who need the extra help, you know.
I'd rather do this than anything in this world, to be here with these children. You know, there's not nothing more precious when you're sitting there filing papers and they slip in there and put their little arms around your neck and say, "Grandma, I love you."